King Harris, the son of hip-hop legends T.I. and Tiny, has just made a move that's got everybody talking. Reports are flying that King has decided to move in with his baby mama. But here's the twist, and it's a big one: he's only doing it on one major condition. And that condition? He refuses to meet or have anything to do with his alleged boyfriend. Now, before you roll your eyes and say this is just another rumor, let me tell you the internet is on fire with this one. Fans are divided, blogs are running headlines, and people are dissecting every little piece of information about King's personal life. So today, we're going to unpack everything from why King set this condition, what it means for his baby mama, the way social media is reacting, and how this could completely reshape his image moving forward. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So, here's the setup. King Harris is still very young, but already he's been making moves that put him in the spotlight for more than just his music. We all know him as the fiery, outspoken son of T.I. and Tiny, the one who's never afraid to clap back, argue with fans, or even challenge his parents publicly on social media. He's been the talk of Instagram Lives, viral TikToks, and endless Twitter threads. Now, according to insiders close to the situation, King has decided to take a big step moving in with his baby mama. And let's be real here, moving in with the mother of your child is a big deal. It signals that you're trying to build a home, take responsibility, and step into that next chapter of life. Fans were ready to praise him for what looked like a move toward maturity. But of course, with King, there's always drama attached. Because word is, he made it clear that he would only move in under one very specific condition. He doesn't want to cross paths with, meet, or even hear about the man blogs have been calling his boyfriend. Now, think about how bold that is. This isn't some small request like don't bring drama into the house or keep certain friends at a distance. This is a hard line in the sand. He basically told his baby mama, if I'm moving in, then that situation is done. No boyfriend, no contact, no nothing. It's almost like he's rewriting the rules of how this household is going to run before he even steps inside. And the way this has been framed is causing all kinds of speculation. To some, this looks like King rejecting or trying to bury the rumors that have been swirling around his personal life. To others, it feels like an ultimatum, almost controlling a way to dictate the terms of their relationship by cutting off someone who may or may not have been a big part of the picture. To really understand why this is making headlines, you've got to look at King's background. King Harris has never had a normal life. From the day he was born, he's been living in the shadow of two major stars. His father, T.I. isn't just a rapper, he's a cultural icon, a businessman, and someone who's constantly making waves in the industry. His mother, Tiny, a member of Xscape, is also an established name in music and reality TV. The Harris family has lived in the public eye for decades. That means King has grown up under a microscope. Every mistake, every decision, every viral clip gets picked apart and turned into a headline. Add in the fact that King himself is outspoken, brash, and unafraid of controversy, and you've got the perfect storm. So when he makes a move like this, setting conditions on moving in with his baby mama, it's not just a private family decision. It becomes a public spectacle with fans and critics weighing in on what it all means. And speaking of fans, social media went crazy as soon as the story broke. Twitter threads popped up within minutes. Instagram gossip pages lit up with screenshots and memes. Everybody had an opinion. One fan wrote, "King moving in with his baby mama, but making conditions? That boy acting just like his daddy, T.I. Always trying to set rules for everyone else." Another posted, "Honestly, I can't blame King. If he's trying to focus on his family, then cutting off distractions might be the best move." Meanwhile, some people weren't buying it at all. A comment on TikTok read, "This is just King trying to save face. He doesn't want the boyfriend rumors overshadowing his image as a dad." And another bluntly said, "So you can fight with Waffle House workers on live, but you're scared of rumors? Make it make sense." So clearly, the internet is split down the middle. Is this about protecting his peace? Or is it about controlling the narrative? And what about the baby mama in all of this? Let's not forget she's the one stuck in the middle of this storm. On one hand, She has King, the father of her child, offering to move in and help build a household. On the other hand, he's attaching strings, telling her who she can and can't be around. That's not an easy position to be in. Sources close to the situation say she's torn. She wants stability. She wants her child to have both parents in the same home, but she also doesn't want to feel controlled or restricted by King's conditions. And that's where things get messy. Because this isn't just about two people moving in together. It's about power, trust, and the sacrifices you're willing to make for family. For her, this decision could determine the entire future of their relationship. If she accepts King's condition, she might gain stability but lose freedom. If she rejects it, she risks pushing King away and raising the baby alone. No matter how you look at it, it's a lose-lose situation. So what does this condition really mean for King Harris? On the surface, it looks like a young man trying to grow up, take responsibility, and commit to building a home. But when you dig deeper, it also feels like a calculated move to control how he's perceived. Think about it. King has been trending for all the wrong reasons lately. Viral fights, public arguments with his parents, wild Instagram lives. His image is one of chaos and immaturity. By moving in with his baby mama, he gets to flip the script and present himself as a responsible young father. But the condition, the refusal to even acknowledge the boyfriend rumors, feels like him trying to erase or silence part of his past. It's less about growth and more about image management. And of course, the internet isn't just reacting, it's speculating. Some blogs are claiming King's condition isn't really about the boyfriend at all, but about jealousy and insecurity. That maybe his baby mama had connections or friendships that made him uncomfortable, and the boyfriend angle is just an excuse. Others are going deeper, suggesting this is about family pressure. That maybe T.I. and Tiny pushed King to step up and take responsibility, and now he's overcompensating by setting boundaries to make it look like he's in control. And then there are the wild theories, people saying the boyfriend knows too much, or that there's some secret being covered up. Whether true or not, these theories spread like wildfire online, and every new comment or meme only fuels the chaos. However, to really understand why this moment has people talking, we need to rewind and look at where King Harris stands right now. King has always been one of the most outspoken of the Harris kids. He's bold, he's brash, he's the one who will clap back on Instagram Live. He's the one who will argue with fans in the comments, and he's the one who went viral for getting into public fights that sparked endless debates about his maturity. And on top of that, he has recently stepped into fatherhood. Now, anyone who's been a young parent knows how overwhelming that can be. And when you add in fame, money pressures, and constant social media attention, the weight only doubles. King comes from a household where his father, T.I., is a businessman, a rapper, and a disciplinarian, and his mother, Tiny, is seen as the nurturing, protective one. That balance has played out on their reality shows, in interviews, and in the way the kids themselves have spoken about their parents. So when King became a father, a lot of fans assumed that Tiny, being the caring mom she's always been, would play a big role in making sure he and the baby were okay. What people didn't expect, though, was for her to allegedly bypass King entirely and send money straight to his baby mama to cover his expenses. And that's the detail that has everyone questioning what's really going on in this family dynamic. Let's break this down, because this isn't just about random generosity. From what's being reported, King has been struggling to juggle the demands of his lifestyle with the very real responsibilities of raising a child. Remember, King has expensive tastes. He's not shy about showing off designer fits, iced-out jewelry, flashy cars. He's grown up with money around him. And that kind of image is something he works hard to project. But when you throw in the costs of being a father, diapers, baby food, doctor visits, childcare, you name it suddenly, the math starts to change. It's not just about flexing for the gram anymore. It's about keeping a whole household running. And this is where Tiny steps in. Instead of handing cash directly to King, which she might worry he'll blow on his personal lifestyle, sources say she decided to send the money straight to the baby mama. That way, she could be sure the funds were going toward King's child, household needs, and real expenses instead of being wasted. From Tiny's perspective, this probably felt like the smartest, most responsible choice. But from the outside looking in, it opened a can of worms. Because now, people are asking, does Tiny not trust King to handle his own money? Does she think he's too reckless to be responsible? And what message does this send about how she views her own son? Now, if you know King,